This is the first ever electric SUV by AMG. And in this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this AMG EQE SUV and the normal EQE on which it's based.
Wow.
Let's start this video with the normal EQE because we should start being a bit more sensible, a bit more accessible, a bit more Timo. This is Timo from Mercedes who's responsible for this car. Are you sensible and accessible?
Yes, of course.
All right, let's talk about this new car. So we've already seen the EQS SUV. Looks very similar. What's the main differences visually?
So the main differences are it's more compact, and then we also made it more sporty. So you see this little power domes on the bonnet.
I mean these creases here?
Yes.
Okay.
So these, and then also here at the side. And then in addition to that, it's more like a cube.
Okay, so it's squarer.
Yes.
More square, that's probably correct English, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your English is probably better than mine, actually. I'm from the Midlands, you see, we don't talk proper around there. Anyhow, I noticed at the front, it seems, like you say, sporty. Is this standard, this kind of like aggressive grille, and fake, there's fakery there? Oh no, look, that's real.
Yeah, so this is for aerodynamics. This is the AMG exterior line.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is not standard, this is an option.
But all EQEs get this grille, don't they, with the little Mercedes stars, yeah? Please say that's true, because I like that.
No, this is optional.
Oh.
Yeah, you get it as an option.
Okay.
You know, as a standard, we have a black panel there, you know, but most of the cars will have that one, of course.
Yeah, you're going to make people pay for it, right? Yeah, it looks good. Okay, then, so I like this colour brown. What is it? Is it brown? It's grey? I don't really know.
We call it velvet brown. It has a little magno effect, okay? That's the reason why we call it velvet. And you see little particles in there, so there you get a little bit an impression that it could be not a metallic paint, you know, but it is. This one with the combination, you know, with the interior, you know, it's a perfect match. And this color is coming with this car first, you know, and then also the other cars will get it.
So it's the first time this colour has ever been seen on a Mercedes, yeah?
Yes.
It's really, really nice. Let's just check out the car from the side. Okay, so let's walk around here. So, like you say, it's shorter than the EQS SUV. It looks very similar. Do you know what? If you just come and look at it from this angle, one of the things I think about, I'm going to be a bit brutal here, but the EQS and the EQS SUV, I'm not the biggest fan of their shape. I prefer this because it's a bit more squat.
Yes.
So even though they're the more expensive cars, I think the EQE and the EQE SUV, they look better than their more expensive counterparts. Do you agree? Are you allowed to agree? Nod your head, you know, if you agree.
Yeah, so, you know, if you like it more, it's good, you know, so everybody has got a little bit of different orientation regarding what is good, what is not good, you know, so, and if you like it, you know, then we are happy.
Running boards, are they standard?
No, they are optional.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right, these wheel design, what do you start up with? Because they look pretty big. Well, these 22s?
That are 22s, we are starting with 19-inch.
Well, they fill the wheel arch at 19-inch, or they look a bit too small, yeah?
You know, this is also a little bit an optical effect, you know, that you try to make it big even with 19. Of course, you know, we are trying to make that happen, but here you can see the 22 that are pretty obvious, you know, that's really good looking there. Yeah?
Are they aerodynamic wheels? They don't look it to me. Are they?
No, they are, you know, you can see it at this ring here.
They look really good for aero wheels.
Yeah.
I like those. I think they might be a bit easy to curb though. I mean, look at that, it's just begging to be curbed, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just you know, is what it is, right?
You know, for us it's always important, you know, to have really a good combination regarding the aerodynamics. Even with the running boards are helping that.
Really?
You know, so yeah, there is an advantage.
How are they helping?
Yeah, you know, that's the complete airflow, you know, that is coming from the front.
Are you telling me that if you fit these boards, you'll get improved efficiency from the car?
Yes.
Have you got a number on that?
It's not a very big number,
but it's a
number.
But
it's a number, you know. So usually you have a disadvantage there, you know, and we swapped it to an advantage, you know, and there we are pretty proud about that one.
All right, and let's just take a look at the back. Right, I've got to pull you up on this, Timon. Sorry, I call you Timon. I want to call you it's Timo.
It's Timo.
Anyhow, what's this all about, mate? What is going on here? I'm going to start a campaign to make this illegal. Why do we do that? Why do we have like this kind of... We need to let go of exhaust. We don't need exhaust anymore in an electric car.
No, yeah, but it's a styling element. Yeah, You're completely right, you know. There might be some people who don't like it.
We'll actually come on to more about that because I've got a suspicion as to the reason that they do this. But we'll come on to that in a moment. I like this. Really like the light bar at the back. Very similar to you have on the EQS SUV. Looks really good. And what are you doing with the roof here? Because it's two-tone roof and it's...
Yeah. You're completely right. There's a little optical effect included in that one, you know. So if the roof is black like this, you know, and you're looking from the side, you know, you follow the line from the paint, you know, and if you're doing that, it looks that it's really coming down.
Yeah, just wait there a second.
If you look at this line, you know, then it's really...
I see what you mean, look, yeah. So it looks like it's going down, it looks like it's got more of like a coupe-ish, a sloping roofline, whereas actually it's a bit of a trick.
Yeah, it's a little
clever
optical trick, but it's working.
Okay, so I prefer the exterior than the normal EQS SUV. Not by loads, but I do prefer it. But is the interior as good? Because I can't criticise the EQS SUV's interior because it is just lovely. Let's have a look at the inside of this one. I've got to say, Timo, love the colour combination. I like the brown, I like the beige. This is definitely my choice of interior. Did you choose this?
Yes.
Good choice. Second thing, the quality in here, right? I can't tell any difference between this and the EQS SUV. Is there a difference?
You mean regarding the cockpit?
The cockpit, it just feels exactly the same.
Yeah, so the cockpit itself with the Hyperscreen is the same. Yeah, there are a couple of things different. Yeah, so for example, if you have the Burmeister sound, yeah, then we added to this car now as a first time Dolby Atmos. Yeah, as a sound experience.
Oh, it's there, look, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, what I could do is play that to you, but you're not really going to experience it on the mics, but who cares? Should we just give it a go? What do I do? Press this?
Yes.
Press that. Right, turn the volume. So essentially, what I'm experiencing is surround sound and it's moving from all the different speakers.
Dolby Atmos trial version.
We're probably peaking on the mic right now. But I tell you what, that is pretty much just like being in the cinema, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got that new, but if I'm an EQS buyer, I've paid more money, I'm going to be a bit annoyed that the interior of this is the same as my car and you've actually got something extra in the cheaper vehicle. What's going on with that? Why are you making this car feel as nice as the top of the range?
This new feature you will also get then in the EQS. Yeah, so this is just the first one, you know, because we would also want to have something new with this car. This is the reason why. In addition to that, you know, so you would not get with this car a 7-seater. So that one you are just getting with the EQS, for example. So there are a couple of differences even there.
But really, for this level, the interior quality is absolutely special. Apart from one thing, and you always do this in Mercedes. That, right? That and that. Also, what? That is not very good. The plastic material for the, well, not pedal shifters, but for the recuperation. They're more metallic, aren't they, in the EQS?
Yeah, you can also get it with a metallic.
Oh, can you get it with metallic? If you're buying this car, absolutely 100% get metallic shifters because these just feel horrible. Sorry, Timo, but they do. And sorry for calling you Timo, again, it's Timo. The rest of it though, and this wood here, the way you do this wood, exposed wood, open pore wood, lovely, with the laser etched little Mercedes stars. Optional though, right?
Yeah, but that one you can choose, you know, between different other woods. You know, this is our wood with, we call it hybrid wood, you know, with this little stars on there. So this is extraordinary from our point of view.
Yeah, it's beautiful, that is. Seats are nice. Can you get a non-leather version if you want?
Yeah, you can get it.
Okay, it's obviously not leather here on the top of this. What do you call this trim? It's like Alcantara, but not. What is it?
Yeah, we call it Neotex.
Neotex. It's nice, that is. I'd almost like all the seats and everything in Neotex. Can you get that?
No, it's just here on the upper side and then also here in the interior of the door.
Right. Will that be standard or is that an extra?
No,
standard?
that is standard.
Do you know what? When you have like these kind of materials on the dash compared to like the normal polyurethane, it just makes them feel so much more expensive. So does this Hyperscreen, which is, like you said, the same you get in the EQS SUV.
Yeah, that's correct.
This is obviously an option though, right? Where you've got the 1, 2, 3 displays in there.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, we'll just show a quick cutaway now of what it would look like as standard. But really, if you want to lift the cabin, you're going to have to pay extra for this, aren't you? It's got so many features. You've even got a little display there for the passenger. And you can upload your own images.
You can upload your own images, exactly.
Is that one of your own personal images?
Yes.
A nice little scenic drive that Timo went on. You know, there he is in his EQE SUV going off into the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, yeah, really like it. It's really nice here on the inside. Let's just check out the back seats. This is in my driving position and the room's good. Headroom's good, even though we've got the panoramic roof. That's an option, right?
That's an option, yeah.
It's nice though, and it doesn't really eat into headroom, so plenty of space back here. The dimensions of this car, is it the same as the EQE, the distance between the front and rear wheels, or is it larger or smaller?
It's a little smaller, yeah, so it's 3 meters and 3 centimeters.
But you don't notice it, how come?
Yeah, I mean, we made a really intelligent package in here.
If I do say so myself. Right, it's very modest of you. The batteries are underneath the floor, right? And sometimes with electric cars, I find this in a Tesla Model X actually, that your feet feel a little bit high like that, but this is actually pretty decent. The bottom half and upper part of my legs are at right angles, which is a good seating position. Yet I've still got lots of headroom, so that's nicely done. And is this like, yeah, it is. Look, you got through loading.
Yeah.
You got an armrest. You got your mobile phone holder. Does this pop out? Where's the cup holder? There it is. There we go. Finally got it. I knew it was in there. Although I always find that a bit freaky. They look like eyes. Can you see what I mean?
Yeah, but it's working.
Yeah, it's working. Enough of that. Yeah. So yeah, pretty roomy back here. You don't seem to be able to recline the back seats at all. Not that you really need to, but
Yeah, no, it's not adjustable in this car. You can make it a little bit more to the front.
so you can make it less comfortable if you'd like to. Is that what you're saying? Who's going to do that?
Yeah,
No one.
that's the so-called cargo position.
Oh,
You
the
know, then you
cargo,
have
right.
more space in the back.
But you can't recline the seats like you can in the EQS SUV.
Yes.
Okay, so at least there is that difference, I suppose. Right, so here's the boot of the EQE SUV. What's the load capacity?
The load capacity is 520 liters,
Right.
and then in the cargo position, if you go with the back,
In the uncomfortable position for the rear passengers, you mean?
it's 580.
Up to 580, but really you're going to do it at 520. How does that compare to the EQS SUV? What is it for that?
We compared even with the total.
Yeah.
So if you flip it down, then you have 1,675 with this vehicle,
Yeah.
and with the EQS you have 2,020.
Okay.
You know, so that one is going up then.
520 litres for the boot on an SUV is about average, isn't it?
From our point, it's a lot. You know, so or let's put it that way, it's enough.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed is no load lit, which is good. What's not so good though, there's no manual release here in the boot. You have to do it from the seat backs.
Yes.
Why? It's a premium SUV. What's going on?
You know, if you could also lean in here and make it from the back, you know, this is not that uncomfortable.
I'm too rich to lean.
Yeah, so
I'd have
then
bought
you
a
need it
Skoda
from the interior.
If I wanted
yeah.
to lean.
Yeah.
In fact, in a Skoda, I think you can do it with handles.
Yeah, then you have to open the rear door and then
Okay.
you can make it
Not
happen.
too much of a hardship. There is one thing I do need to actually ask you about, and for that we need to go to the front. Now, a lot of electric cars often have a front boot, you know, like Teslas have them, a lot of the Korean manufacturers have them. What is it with the Germans, like BMW, Volkswagen Group, and yourselves, you don't make use of a front boot? There's no internal combustion engine under there. Why don't you, in Germany, like a front boot? In fact, on this, you can't even open it, can you? The customer doesn't open this, do they?
No, they can't.
What's a secret underneath here?
There's no special secret, you know. So first of all, you know, you have a four-wheel drive. So if you have a four-wheel drive, then there's an electrical motor. And then in addition to that, you are getting optional here the HEPA filter. And this is also using space in there, you know.
Okay.
And because of that, from our point of view, the space in the back is enough and it's good.
Okay, 3 words for you. Tesla Model Y have all the things that you've just said, yet they have a front boot. Just saying.
But they do not have a HEPA filter, you know, with the
Don't they?
performance that we have.
I thought they did.
They have a filter, but not with the performance that we have.
Which means you can't have a front boot. Which would you rather have? I think I'd probably go with the front boot. But anyway, let's move on. Finally then, let's talk about batteries, motors and all that kind of stuff. And the first thing I want to show you is, yeah, I like a motorized charging port. Cool. Could break, but it's cool. This is how to break it actually, isn't it? By keeping on messing around with it. Anyway, enough of that. What's the battery capacity of this car?
It's the same like with the EQE sedan.
So what's that in terms of kilowatt hours?
A little bit more than 90 kilowatt hours.
Okay, and what kind of range can people expect from this?
More than 550 kilometers.
More than, and I don't know what that is, miles. I can't compute in my head, so we'll be putting that on the screen now. Right, in terms of the power system, so you can have it as a rear-wheel drive single motor or an all-wheel drive, is that correct?
Yes, you can get both.
And is there anything special about the all-wheel drive version?
It is, yeah. So with this car, we are introducing a so-called disconnect unit. So you can disconnect the front axle, and so you are getting more range, you know, if
Just
you
when you're
don't need
cruising?
it. Exactly.
Okay, so how much more range does that disconnect give you?
About 4 to 5%.
Which could be the difference between getting to a charging point or not, right?
Definitely.
So it's definitely worthwhile. Okay, pricing-wise, what are we looking at for one of these? What's the starting price?
I cannot give you the prices right now. It will be a little bit higher than the EQE sedans, but we will come with the pricing a little later.
Okay, so if you're interested in one of these cars and you find out what the price is, you think I've got more, I can afford something a bit more expensive, maybe you'd want one that's a bit more sporty. So now let's check out the AMG version. I'm here with Michael, who's going to talk us through everything we need to know about the AMG version of the EQE. First things first though, Michael, why do I feel like I'm stood inside someone's mouth?
Someone's mouth,
all a
because
bit
it's
red,
like
isn't it?
red here.
Yeah, I could have said something ruder, like a lady garden, but I didn't want to say that.
It's just a fire. That's a fire that comes with AMG.
I think the fire's a bit more orange, isn't it? Anyway.
I mean, you have lightnings over there, and
Okay, so let's focus on the car because I'm just talking nonsense now. So AMG, let's talk about the performance. What have we got in this car? We've got 2 electric motors, but how much power do they produce?
so we're always talking about the EQE SUV 53, I'd say.
Yeah.
So, and this comes with up to 505 kilowatts.
Don't know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, for those guys who like the horsepower numbers,
A lot of horsepower.
I could say so. So that's 677 horsepower, which you have in the race start with a special option, the AMG Dynamic Plus package.
So a lot of horsepower, 677 when you're launching it. If you
Exactly.
don't have that upgrade, what is the standard
The
horsepower?
standard horsepower is 617.
That's a lot still, isn't it? Do you have times on this car for 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, 0 to 62?
I mean, we have the 0 to 100, which is 3.5, and 0 to 60 is probably a little bit less.
Just a very little bit less. Okay, so this thing's got the performance. In terms of the battery capacity, is it the same as the normal EQE?
It's the same. It's the same like the Mercedes version and the same like the EQE.
So you've got more performance, and you want to tell people that you've got the car with more performance. So what are the main design differences with this compared to the standard car? Obviously this grille, right?
Obviously, we have the grille with the vertical stripes, and if you see here, it's also the AMG design with the air curtain.
Oh, wait a second there, Michael. This looks very similar, this part, to the car in there.
It's pretty much similar shape. Here we have a little bit more luxury. You have some parts that are not the matte plastic, but here you have high gloss plastic.
Right, okay, so that car was an AMG line, so it had some
Exactly, so
bumpers,
they're-
but these little bits of trim, because they're slightly different colour on there,
Exactly.
is only available on the AMG version. And I do want to just pick up one thing, because this is the first ever electric SUV from AMG, and now you guys at AMG using this new badge here, aren't
Yeah,
you? Well, it's not a new badge, it's your AMG
Our
badge,
heritage,
your heritage
basically,
badge.
yeah.
On the front of the cars. Now you get it on the new C63
Right.
and you get it on other new AMGs. The thing that's a bit ironic about it though is that part of it has a valve spring and what looks like a cam lobe, but obviously it's electric, so it should really be some magnets and some copper wire, but it's about the heritage, isn't it?
Do you really think it should be? Because this is where we come from. This is
you're
what we
right.
did for 55 years, which made us where we are right now, and that's what we transfer to the new world with this electric car that we have here.
Okay, I stand very, very corrected. So at the side, Michael, what are the main differences over the standard car?
And what we see here is the rims. This is the 22-inch rim, turbine design. You already know from the EQS sedan. But on this car, we've beefed up the struts, and it's a design that fits more to the SUV.
Okay, so these wheels are not available on the standard EQE, only AMG
They're-
models.
Our rims are only available on the AMG models.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Another thing I've noticed, this is body colour on the AMG.
Yeah, that's also, again, performance luxury. We have here the body color, which is also a thing that we used to do on AMG cars.
Okay, right. And those are the main differences at the side.
Right, yeah.
What are the main differences here at the back then, Michael?
So the main differences, obviously, is the 53 that we see here.
And the AMG
And
badge.
Of course, the AMG badge. And then if you look below there, you have 3 lines instead of 2 lines, which is more a little bit expert knowledge. So if somebody doesn't have the numbering up there, you can still distinguish between the AMG line and the real AMG.
So this is probably one of the reasons why they've kept these fake exhausts, because then you can differentiate between the standard car and the normal one by the number of horizontal stripes in there. Okay then, Michael, here on the inside, what are the main changes that you get on this AMG version compared to the normal EQE? The first thing I can see is obviously...
There are a lot of things that you see that you get inside. The one thing is the steering wheel with our 2 satellites. I'll go into deeper after we got this overview. Then you have the seats there, AMG specifically.
So you've got AMG sport seats?
Badge, yeah, you have the AMG badge, you have the AMG logo in the headrest, and you have also certain software screens that are only available on the AMG. Should we take a little bit a look into the software?
So yeah, let's have a look. So you've got different screens on here. So you don't get this on the normal
No, you
EQE.
don't get. This is the performance screen, which is only.
Okay, super sport screen.
Super
You've also got a
sport.
track pace
Exactly.
screen. Okay.
So the track pace screen is an option. You only get it when you order the track pace. This helps you to see right away where the car is, how fast you accelerate.
Ooh, it made a little noise there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about the noises on this car. So, right, and just turn it on.
So now we switch to S Plus, and you hear some noise. Obviously, the noise is really better to hear it while you're driving, because it calculates in real time how fast when you go faster, or depending on how fast you accelerate, the noise inside the car.
So-
but all, yep.
Sorry to interrupt you. Just let's have a listen. Do you know what? It feels like we're in a bit of a horror film with all the red in here, and this sound, it's like that tension sound they play just before one of the character is about to get murdered. It's like building tension. Are there other noises that it makes?
You hear a sound, basically, depending on how fast you go, how fast you accelerate, and it's calculated in real time. You can switch the state of the sound. Let's go to the satellite, which offers our sound level. That's this.
So I can alter the sound level.
Alter the sound level.
I can turn it off if I don't like it.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, you have to, now it's on, and then you have this button below.
And it's off. It's quiet, like an electric car should be. But, you know, it's all right, that is. Sport and powerful. Do you get different sounds depending on which package you have?
So this is the basic sound, we call it authentic.
Yeah.
And when you have this AMG Dynamic Plus package, you get an additional sound world, which is called performance. And you can compare it a little bit to what we did on an internal combustion engine, where you had this exhaust switch.
Okay, so basically it's another way to make a bit more money.
Or to make the customer individualize his car as he wants.
Oh, you could work in PR with lines like that, mate.
And I'm just an engineer, you know? And it's,
You are a well-trained engineer. Okay, yeah, I think we all know. We all know, don't we? Anyhow, so we've got this different screens. Are there any other screens on here that you have which you don't get on like a normal EQE?
Exactly. So would you push you can leave it like that. You can push the home button.
screen, yeah.
Yeah, and then you see the performance.
Yeah, performance, let's hit that.
And here you get additional screens that are just for the AMG.
This
You
energy
see the
flow, yeah?
energy flow, you see the drive, you see the electric motor.
Yeah.
Let us,
I need to have the car on. So there we go, that's fine. Look, there we go, look. Right, what's going on? We've got into a muddle now. And what's that noise?
we have air suspension on this car, and depending on the switch you have, the car lowers itself or lifts itself.
Oh, right, so you've got
So-
air suspension as
Yeah.
standard, whereas
Air suspension as
it's
a
an
standard.
option on the normal EQE, whereas it's
That's
standard
right,
here.
yeah. It's a standard here. And
And when you change the mode, it alters the ride height.
Yeah.
And does this car ride lower anyway than the standard EQE?
so the standard EQE only lowers itself at a certain speed.
Right.
And we have the ability here to lower it already when it stands still with the Sports or Sports Plus program.
Okay, are there any other changes to the chassis as well compared to the normal EQE?
The air suspension is different. It's more for a sporty ride. We have our suspension. Our dampers are the same technology that we also have on the AMG 4-door coupe.
Okay.
And then another thing that I'm really excited about that we have this in the car is an active road stabilization. It works with a 48 volt system.
So basically it's active, so when the car turns it like engages to keep
Exactly.
it, stop it leading so much, but
Yeah.
when you're just going straight it just...
It opens up completely.
Disconnects.
It
Okay.
disconnects and it allows the wheels to travel freely, which enhances also the comfort. So it offers a bigger spread between comfort and sport, depending on how the car or how the driver wants to ride the car.
Okay, right, shall we go back to what we were originally talking about before?
Exactly, so
I got a
we-
little bit
we had-
distracted, sorry about that, Michael.
No,
It's like dealing with a
perfectly-
child, isn't it?
There are toys for big guys. So, so there's another really nice feature that we started rolling out with this car.
Uh-huh.
You see the IWC.
Okay, the watch brand, yeah.
So, and there you go.
We've got a big IWC watch graphic on there. What's this for?
It's basically a watch, and you can push the red button up there.
It's a stopwatch.
Yes.
Oh, that's really cool. So this is new on this car.
This is new in this car, and we will roll it out also to the other AMG EQ cars. It's only available on the AMG car.
I don't know why this pleases me so much, but it sort of just does. Can you move it onto the passenger screen as well?
If there is a passenger, he can also open up the IWC watch on there.
Does someone need to be sitting there to
Yes.
activate it? Okay,
You don't want the driver to be distracted.
okay, got you. Oh, I really like that. Any other things to talk about? I mean, obviously we've got the steering wheel here, which is different. And is this an upgraded one with carbon on it?
Yeah, this is an option with the carbon one. The standard one is leather. And we also have one steering wheel which has this microfiber and leather in combination.
Okay, yeah, because I do like this Alcantara, I know it's not Alcantara, but
Yeah,
that,
you can tell it what you...
it makes any car feel instantly faster. I just love it. Another thing I like is that in this version of the EQE, you've got proper metallic feeling paddles. That's standard, right?
They're standard on the AMG car.
The one in the EQE, I mean, I had a little criticism to your friend Timo. The plastic ones just felt rubbish. Okay, so we talked through all the major changes on the AMG version.
Let me show you
something
something
else?
again. There's something else because
We're not done yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's something really cool. How you can individualize your car. Just push this button a little bit longer.
Okay, so if I press that.
And then you see the screen shows up and push on the pencil on the right.
Yeah.
And then you can do the plus.
Okay, so I can just add lots of different...
And you can, exactly, you can completely individualize what you put up there and have basically a quick setup of your car, how you wanted it.
Okay, because that's one of the things I've always liked about the AMGs, the fact that you can quickly go through your drive modes and you can switch through things like suspension, so you can individualize it on the fly. Now you can do that even more because you can choose what is actually controlled by this satellite dial here, which is, it's not actually a dial, it doesn't turn, but this satellite controller here, and it's all these different options here. That's cool. Anyway, so is that pretty much everything about this new first ever electric SUV from AMG?
I mean, that's what you see inside. We already talked about the suspension and the chassis. Maybe we could talk a little bit more about how we actually allow this car to have this vast amount of power, and there's a little bit more about the suspension I'd like to show you outside.
Okay, right, let's do that. We haven't finished yet. So then, Michael, what is this last thing you're dying to tell me?
So there's one thing that we also have as a standard, that's the rear axle steering, and it always comes in the widest angle that's available for the AMG, which is 9 degree. We can't do the 10 degree. There's one reason, because we run on wider tires.
Okay, so I know with the normal EQE you have to pay extra to go from the 5 degrees to the 10 degrees, but here it's standard, although you only get 9 degrees because your alloys are just too big. And that's it then, that's all we need to know now.
Yeah.
Okay, right, there we go. So, I'll tell you what, let me know what you think about this EQE SUV, the AMG version, the AMG EQE 53. Do you like it? Would you rather have this or a Tesla Model Y Performance? Put a pin comment, get a vote on it. I'm sure Michael will be checking that out to see which way you voted. Anyway, I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you did, give it a like. If you want to watch some more videos, click somewhere over Michael's face there. And if you click on that box there, you can subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.